In today's Grade 1 phonics lesson, we are going to be learning about long vowel teams, particularly that of AI and AY. In the engaged part of this lesson, I'm going to explicitly teach the sound AI and AY and comprehensively show students how these long vowels sound in words. So let's get started. I would firstly start with AI and introduce students to animals which have these long vowels. These animals all have the long vowel AI in their names. Caiman, desert rain frog, quail. Can you see the long vowel in the animals' names? So we know the sound for A is A, and the sound for I is I. But when AI is actually put together, it makes one sound. Some of you may know that when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. So here we have two vowels together, A and I. The first one's going to do the talking. So we are going to say that the vowel's name, which is A, when we see A and I together, it says A. Everyone say that. A. This is a caiman. What sound does the long vowel, what is the sound of the long vowel in his name? A. This is the desert rain frog. What is the sound of the long vowel in his name? A. This is the quail. What is the sound of the long vowel in his name? A. I would repeat this activity for the long vowel AY, introducing students to animals with which have AY in their name, reminding them of the vowel poster and then asking them to repeat the sound for AY. A. I would then ask students, do you notice that the sound for these vowels is actually the same? A. The reason I would firstly start my lesson like this is because it provides students with systematic and explicit phonic instruction. It provides them with direct instruction of phoneme-grapheme correspondence, as students are able to identify the sound of the long vowel, the letter combination, how it looks in a word, and how it reads, building automaticity and fluency. Before starting the explore part of the lesson, I would explain the what and the will of the lesson. Writing these on the board, I would explain that in the rest of this lesson, we are learning how to understand the sound for these long vowels, create and write words containing these long vowels, and read and identify these words in a sentence and a book. I would also explain to students that by the end of this lesson, after we complete the activities, we will be able to identify, create, write, and read words with long vowels AI and AY. This enables students to understand the learning goals and success criteria and understand that I, as a teacher, will support them to achieve success as they systematically move through the learning process. So let's get back to the lesson. The long vowel AI, sound A, is normally found in the middle of a word. So let's go ahead and see if we can make some words with this long vowel. Let's put an S And when I say the sound, I want you to say S. So S is S. Let's blend that. S, A, S, A. What if I put an L at the end? Let's blend those sounds. S-ale, S-ale, sail. What if I put an M here? Sound Let's try this all together. Let's blend this all together. A, all. A, all. Male. Let's see if you can do one. If I put a T here, can you blend this word to a all? To a all. Tail. Let's find words with our other long vowel, A-Y. Ah. It's normally found at the end of words. So let's go ahead and see if we can make some words with the long vowel. If we put a D here, let's do the sound. D, D, A, D, A. Day, day. Let's try another one. What if I put an M here? What sound is that? A, A, may, may. I would continue this systematic instruction with the words play. The reason why these letter cards are coloured is to show green are letters of onset words, orange are short and long vowels, and red letters are the end of words. So green, go, orange, caution, and red are a little harder. I've got yellow for letters either side of the vowel and blue for suffixes. Students are familiar with these letter cards and their meanings. By introducing students to this explicit teaching strategy, they are learning that certain letters typically occur in various and predictable patterns, and that vowels constantly make certain sounds in varying patterns and positions. This helps students recognize basic spelling patterns in words, making reading and spelling more predictable and ultimately helping with automaticity and fluency. For students with learning difficulties, they could have their own cards and copy the words like sail and mail that I have done on the board. This creates a more multi-sensory lesson for them. This systematic and explicit phonics instruction ensures students understand the context and pronunciation of the words. By sounding out and blending the words, it enables students to pronounce the long vowel correctly and ultimately the word. This lesson is created to promote explicit teaching practice for teachers to show students what to do and how to do it. The group rotations create opportunities for students to demonstrate understanding and apply the learning. So let me introduce you to the activities. Activity 1 uses coloured cards to help students create and write words with these long vowels. Our first activity, we are going to create some words with our long vowels. On your small group desk, you will receive an instruction sheet and activity sheet. So let's go through the instructions. We need to place the orange vowel cards on the table and use the purple ones for beginning letters and the blue ones for the end of words. We need to create and say the word with the vowel AI and AY and record it onto our activity sheet. We can also make some alien words or made up words. So let's try this together. Place AI in the middle of the board and say the sound ah. If we put M, sound and L, sound oo, let's sound that out. A, male, male. We write it in the AI column. What about our other vowel, A-Y? Sound ah. If I put a D, you write this on your chart. If I change the S, for M, sound sound ah, sound oo. Let's blend. Male. What about the other vowel? A-Y. Sound A. If I put a D in front, sound D. Let's sound it out. D-A. D-A. Day. We put day in our column. And what if I change it to a P? Sound P. P-A. Pay. Then I put it in our chart. If I was to put a W sound and a B sound in front of the long vowels, is that a word? It would be w-b-a. No, that's not a word. It must be an alien word. So let's put it in the alien column. As you can see, I've kept the vowels orange, but changed the colour of the cards for beginning and end of letters. This is so students specifically don't get confused between which card is for the beginning part of the word and which card is for the end of the word. Another way to do this would be to keep the orange, green and yellow cards and write beginning and end on them. This multi-sensory activity can promote higher order thinking skills by introducing students to additional letters to create words like brain or plane. This is important for the continuum of critical and creative thinking. This activity promotes orthographic mapping, helping students to build a permanent storage system for written words and develop phonological awareness and word-level reading. This activity would not be as effective if those learning with learning difficulties did not have an MKO teacher aid or a teacher to assist. If a student does not have enough phonic awareness, they will struggle with creating and reading words with long vowels. An MKO teacher or teacher aid can provide students with additional assistance to identify the sounds and create and contribute to the collaborative exercise. The other two activities are explicitly sequenced to help students see the long vowels in their head, remember the sound of this vowel, and words which have the long vowel AI or AY in it. In activity 2, students are given an activity sheet and asked to roll the dice. They are to choose a sentence to read based on what they have rolled. Students are to identify and write down the word with the long vowel. This activity enables students to recognise written words accurately and automatically. It also promotes fluency as students reflect and apply what they have learnt to read the sentence. Just like in activity 1, the teacher will provide an instruction sheet and explicitly explain the requirements for the game. Activity 3 enables students to apply their knowledge of these long vowels to read and record these words from their home reader or library book. Again, students are provided with explicit instruction on how to complete this activity. Like in activity 1, an MKO teacher aid or teacher would be required to ensure students with learning difficulties were provided with the best opportunity to understand and complete the activities. This lesson was sequenced firstly to explicitly teach the skill, next to provide students with the opportunity to practice the skill with support, and lastly, through the activities, students can apply the skill independently. The importance of providing students with explicit and systematic phonics instruction is to teach all beginning readers how to decode and recognise words accurately, independently, and automatically. If you would like more explanation on activity 2 and 3 regarding this phonics lesson, please watch my next video.